This pulls out the revolver and says, ain't nobody doing nothing to my man. And when I look, all I see is like a pea shooter. You feel me? That's what I see. I said, oh, I knew immediately that was the wrong thing to do. Listen closely, lads. Yo, lads, when this pulled out the pea shooter, everybody had 10 guns apiece. I mean, guns came like just guns and guns and guns. And first of all, shout out to Jim Pop, shout out St. Labs. All right, you know what this is, Comic Gang all day. Uncle YAHSHUA here, giving you a live one. Check in. You know I rocks with you lads all day, every day. All right, let's go. So this story right here is official. Now everybody have heard all through, this is an industry thing, right? Everybody heard about the IU, Tretch, Queen Latifah thing, and Tupac got into it because that's when Tupac was running with Tretch back then. So he slid his little way into it. But I got another official one. It's on the channel and it's in the documentary, lads, and I'm gonna give you another exclusive on that another time where Tupac came up to us before that beef, when he was down with Digital Underground before he was big. Because I was with IU. All right, first of all, let me run this back. IU from my hood, and I was an OG legend back in the day, so I was with him on tour and everything, because I was a rapper too back in the day, so I was the hype man. We toured the whole country, the world, everything, and IU was number. Now, this is the context of the story. Context is key.
You talking about Granddaddy IU?
Granddaddy IU, facts. So now this is back when he was on top, because this is back. I got mad other stories about this. So this is back, and yes, I cut your clip up of the interview you had with IU with Jay-Z taking his style with the whole suit and all that. Yeah, that's all facts. All right, that's all fact. So IU at this time is like #1 in the world. Now IU had love from the streets, from the projects, from the hoods, everywhere. We was in Texas, we was in New Orleans, we was in we was everywhere. I'm talking about every hood, the worst hood in the world. We was in the hood doing those shows, right? This is Cold Chillin' Warner Brother days. G-Rap, Wu-Tang, before they was Wu-Tang, when it was Genius. Genius had a deal, that's the Jizza. Genius had a deal with Warner Brothers. It was him. So this is who was on our label. It was us, IU. It was G-Rap, this is Cold Chillin' Warner Brothers. It was Biz, of course. Biz was the big marquee. It was Kid Capri. This is when Kid Capri had a record deal. It was Master Ace. That's when Master Ace had his deal. And it was, Genius. And that was Wu-Tang, but before they was Wu-Tang. So Genius, he had Ace Son, his cousin, Old Dirty Bastard with him. Math was still his DJ, Mathematics. And he had, who else was there? There was a couple of others. The Abbott, RZA was there too, but RZA didn't come all the time. But their whole crew used to come. So this before nobody knew before Wu-Tang started. So anyway, now, this is the time frame. IU is the biggest thing in the streets. Biggest thing. It's after, in my documentary, I got a story about him and Kane, they beat, Big Daddy Kane. Because Kane, Biz put Kane on, and then when Biz put IU on, Kane got a little mad because IU was popping in the streets. We was #1 everywhere, like all the ghettos. So everywhere you ride around the streets, that's all you hear is his album playing, right? So we #1, we all good. Now, unbeknownst to me, Fly Ty, Tyrone Williams, the owner of Cold Chillin' Records, he done hit IU up to make a record. This is where that beef come back, the Queen Latifah thing. To write a record for Roxanne Shante. So y'all know Roxanne Shante, they just did a documentary on some big thing, so people who already watched that, tune in. So Roxanne was, she was the biggest battle rapper. So Fly Ty got IU to write the lyrics for Roxanne to make a kind of a diss record to Latifah. So IU a goon, just so you know, it's all official, and you'll see that from my documentary channel. IU a goon from my hood, official. All that rap stuff, he was in the streets first. It's official.
And where you from again exactly?
So I'm from Hempstead. Most of my my tenure is in Hempstead, Strong Island. That's where I'm from, Parkside Project. On Hempstead on the Hills. But I'm from Bed-Stuy. My family from Brevoort. So my original family from Brevoort, all coming up. But then my pops, my mom's from Brevoort, and my pops was from Hempstead. So my pops went to Brevoort and snatched up my mom's. So they moved me to Hempstead when I was young. But I still go back and forth to Bed-Stuy. I'm from Brooklyn too. So, and then I also lived in Queens. So I moved to Queens because you'll learn that later, I became big. I did my time for it. So I did my time, served my time. These are all past tense stories. I'm not living that life anymore. But yeah, I caught a kingpin charge. I was doing my thing. I became a millionaire by 30, all that in the streets. I was official, receipts for everything. Those stories are later. So anyway, so I'm also moved to Southside Queens. I live in Farmers in Linden. I've been everywhere. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm officially bloodline, Brevoort Projects, Bed-Stuy, #1, Hempstead, facts. That's where I was raised. All that. That's where I put it in and all that. And then I'm living in Queens and Bed-Stuy, and I went to North Carolina. I got North Carolina stories for you. Yes. I got Raleigh, North Carolina, and Bull Durham back when it was the murder capital. When Durham was the murder capital, I had a nightclub there too. All these stories, stuff coming. All right. So anyway, we doing the Hempstead. You from Hempstead though, right? But his family's originally from Southside, but we grew up in Hempstead. So we #1, right? So we on tour, we doing our thing. I don't know, Fly Tide and got IU to write this rhyme for Queen Latifah. For Roxanne Shante to diss Latifah. Now, at this time, Latifah Flavor Unit is big. Tretch, this is after OPP. OPP, lads, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know your age range, I'm a little older, but OPP was popping back then. That's when the Greek Fest days, Jones Beach Greek Fest and all that, OPP was popping.
OPP, I was like, 15, 16 when that shit was rocking.
So you know what it is then, right? OPP was official. And then when he came with the other joint about the projects in the background, and I grew my hair because I couldn't afford a haircut. I remember that because I had long braids.
Yeah, everything was gonna be alright, and
yeah,
he had that and motherfucking hip-hop parade, like he was murdering it.
What? Murdering it, and then with the big sword. Remember that when he pulled out the big sword?
Yeah, the anthem shit where he had Pac in the video.
Yeah, so that's the days I'm talking about. So that's when he started rocking with Pac. So when Tretch started rocking, Tretch really started taking over. So now Tretch had a lot of the goons. See, when you was a real official street nigga and still maybe real official rap songs, a lot of the goons in the hoods be rocking with you. There's plenty wars and killings that happen over who better in the rap game. You know what I mean? So at this time, when Fly Ty made IU, that was the worst thing he did. It was he told IU to write the song to diss Latifah. Now IU just about money, so he don't care. He fearless too. He's stupid fearless, right? He don't even think. So IU gonna write it regardless. Cut me the check. He'll write the money talking about John Gotti back then if he had to. You know what I mean? Like whatever, just cut me the check. So IU does it. Now we don't know nothing. We thinking nothing of it. All of a sudden, his phone blowing up, the media, the news, the new right-on these magazines, everybody talking about this nigga became the black eye to the game. That's also how he got blacklisted too. That's how he blacklisted to this day. But there's other stuff for now. I got another story coming about that. But anyway, so now his phone blowing up, everything going crazy, like people canceling shows on us. It's like, yo, what's going on, yo? Like it was just a rap record, but it got more personal, right? So now this was a story. So
which record was this though? The record, what was the name of the record?
It was called it's that Roxanne Shante joint. They did a BET thing about it too, where Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, all the women, they just showed it recently on a BET special. You can YouTube it too, where they did an interview and they brought out all of the women of rap back then, and they brought out, and Shantae came out like the black eye, and they was trying to disrespect, and they said IU did the record. Shantae, she didn't like blame him because Shawnee is gangster. She didn't blame him, but she was like, I didn't write it. IU wrote it, and that's when everything hit the fan. And I remember MC Light called the phone. We was in the studio. She called out your phone, and MC Light, we used to rock. Everybody loved us. And she was like, I can't believe you did that. I ain't rocking with you no more. And I remember you like, yo, but Light, you my girl. She's like, nah, we dead. And I'm like, yo, what happened? You know what I mean? So then anyway, it came out, right? So now everybody blacklisting us, kid. I mean, like, when we go, people looking at us, and you know what I mean? And we ain't no punks, you know what I mean? We official, and you official, you know what I mean? So everywhere we go, people looking. I'm like, yo, I think we got beef, my dude. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is serious. Like, everywhere we go, like, we got a problem now where people used to love us. So then, now, here come the story. So we going on, you know what I mean? You doing interviews, everybody blacklisted. Tretch got beef. Tretch is throwing, like, he's doing stuff like he want to bring some heat, drama, like he want to fight or something. Like he taking up for Latifah, which I respect. You feel me? It's like crew. And you did some fouls. He shouldn't have did it. I would have told him not to do it if I would have known. I was like, nah, it's a bad move, kid. We gotta think business wise.
What was said? So, I may be familiar with that record, but what was said on that record? It was something that was crazy.
Oh, it was crazy, yo. When you Google the record. Roxanne Shante, I guess dissing Latifah, whatever it was. It's a video and everything out there, right? When you hear the lyrics, he called her names out of name. Cause you real good, like he really good with rap. So we come from the battle rap era, ever. You know what I mean? Like when you diss people to their core, when you hurt their feelings, like their whole family. And he was just, he did her dirty, kid. He really did her dirty, calling her out, saying, and Shawnee, she practiced it, so she spit it just the way he wrote it. So it was like a crazy diss song dissing Latifah. And it was like, and I think she dissed all the other rappers too, like other female rappers. I think she was dissing all the female rappers, if I'm for sure. But I know the Latifah one was really bad because Latifah was looked at as like the queen, like the mother. She was on the, the black ladies first and, the queen and all that.
At that time, she definitely was the queen. She was the queen of hip-hop, man.
Queen. Feel me? And I would have told you tripping. You going at Latifah, that's what she meant. I said, who you calling her it? U-N-I-T-Y, you know what I mean? I try not to curse, kid, Glass, because I'm a minister, I'm a man of the Most High, so I try not to curse. So anyway, she was that's stupid. That's suicide. You feel me? Like, nah, kid, that's business suicide for your career suicide, right? Now the streets, that's different. You want to take down the streets, I would have still told them don't do it because we don't need unnecessary beef. You know what I mean? That's the stupidity. Like, we running through the whole country, going through the worst projects, ghettos, doing parties where they shooting up the parties and they letting us out because they love IU. Facts. I'm talking about I got so many stories. They doing crazy stuff, but they letting us out. That's how much they love IU, his music, right? So anyway, now, the record come out, bang, bang, everything. Tretch is throwing beef on interviews, on MTV Raps, on the BET Rap City. He's talking stuff, and IU is the type, he don't really do interviews. You know what I mean? He more of like, I'ma see you when I see you type. He more street thing, right? So Tretch is mad beef. Now, so I heard the story, I wasn't there, and IU did that story on some channel where they caught him in the bathroom. Right? He went to something, and Tretch and Tupac and them was in the bathroom, and they caught him. He went to the bathroom and they caught him, but they didn't set it. And he told that story or whatever. And when he told the story, I knew, because I know IU, and I know some people will listen to him and be like, man, that nigga lying, but nah, he ain't lying, because I know that nigga. I know that nigga from the streets. And I'm like, yeah, he definitely did what he said. It sound like him. All right, so bang. Now this is after that.
What he said happened in the bathroom though.
He said something like they was doing this big show, and he always rolling with one or two niggas. So he was with my man Jamie from the hood on the Heights, and Jamie was an official nigga, right? So he was just him and Jamie. Jamie's kind of big, but not that big, you know what I mean? So they go into the bathroom, just him and Jamie, and they walk in, I think it was like the tunnel or something. Yeah, it was the tunnel. You know the tunnel bathroom back then, so the tunnel was murder one bathroom, you dead, like it's. So they in the tunnel, they go into the bathroom, and this is the story, he put it on another channel. They said it was like Tretch had like 40 niggas in the bathroom. And they was already watching them. So when they went to the bathroom, you said he looked, and another nigga went out, and 20 more niggas came in. And so they blocked the door. Them niggas was surrounded. And they said Tupac was there too. And he said the nigga Tupac, he said it on interview, he said the nigga Tupac came up to him and was like, yo, what's that shit you said? Something to IU. And then the nigga, IU said, he said, yo, what? That ain't about nothing. What? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what y'all want to do? And he said in an interview he was scared to death, but, you know, he just a real nigga. He just going, you know, you be shook to death, but you ain't going to show it. So he said them niggas was about to set it, but somebody, it's that interview is out there. I can't quote it verbatim, but he said somebody stepped in and stopped it. And we're like, nah, not right now. Not right now. Something. And they stopped it. And they said niggas was drooling at the mouth. I was like, yo, I thought we was dead. You know what I mean? And then they allowed him to go out the bathroom. So that was the first encounter. So, and he just did that not too long. Some channel I seen it. One of them big channels or whatever. So, so this is after that though, right? So now this what happened. I'm in the hood, right? We at my projects, whatever. I'm doing my thing. So next, you know, IU pull up and he like, yo, Ra, my name Rashawn at the time, the guy Rashawn, right? So and I'm in his song too. For those who want to go, you go to his album, he say in the song, you had it going on with my man Rashawn. Now he's wearing your gold and driving your Benz, and to make it so bad, you used to be best friends. That's on his song. It's in my documentary too. So just so receipt, I'm Rashawn that he's talking about in his song. All right. So anyway, so he pull up, he like, yo, Ra. I'm like, yo, what's good? He like, yo, we got a show in Brooklyn at the Empire, right? So I'm like, man, because I'm out getting money. So I'm like, nah, bro, I want you to come. I'm like, man, I'm getting money. I ain't going. Go ahead. Nah, I need you to come, bro. So I'm like, that's my man, though. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's do it. So I'm like, all right. So I tell some of my goons, about 3 of them, not really goons, but some of my crew, some of my rap crew, right? So we get in this little, I had a bunch of cars, but this time I had, and the reason I'm telling this whip, because it has some relevance to the story. So I had this little, if you remember back then, it was like a 82, because this is back in the day, so like a 82 Honda Civic, the hatchback ones, right? The little 2-door small ones. We used to grab those and put big stick-out tires on it, like dune buggy. It used to look like a dune buggy. It's dope. So we used to put these big stick-out chrome tires with deep dish. They was like 12-inch deep dish on them. So when you drive, it looked like a dune buggy that you're driving over. So niggas in the hood, like, so, you know, like me, I had Benzes and Beamers and all that, but then we'll have one of those dune buggy joints. So we ride through my hood, and Hempstead at that time, most of the big timers, we got these dune buggies. So I had a beige one, right? They fly. So we was in my little dune buggy. It was a 5-speed. So we was in the dune buggy. So niggas like, yo, Rob, we gonna go, get one of the other cars, one of the Benz. I'm like, nah, let's just take the dune buggy. So we jump in the dune buggy, right? So we get to Brooklyn. All right. So we get to the Empire. All right, here we go. Here comes the story. We pull up. IU in a separate car. He got one of his mans, and I think his brother, the DJ, Mr. K. What's up, Mr. K? Shout out, Mr. K. Mr. K, my man. That's IU brother. So I think it was just him and Mr. K. And he had his one man, his name is Crisco, right? He from my hood, Crisco Pop. But Crisco ain't no thug. Crisco, he an alright dude. He got some thugs in his family, but he not no thug. He ain't no fighter, none of that. So he got Crisco with him, and that's his little man. So unbeknownst to me, Crisco got a gun. I don't know this. Crisco got a revolver, right? A revolver got 38, right? Now, IU got something like a Tech 9 or Uzi or UWAP in the trunk of their car. I don't know this either. I only got a ratchet. We usually always have a ratchet. I don't know. I wasn't even thinking. We just don't got no ratchet. I guess because he caught us when we was on the block, and we just jumped in the whip and followed him. So I ain't got no ratchet. Now, I got 2 big herringbones. Right? Now this is the time, lies, when the flat herringbones was popping. You know what I'm talking about, the big, chunky, heavy, hairy.
Shit's Pac used to be wearing.
Yes, thank you. And that's after us, fact. So look at Pac video. Thank you, Laz, that was good. Guys, look at Pac video. Imagine 2 of them on my neck. Facts, the same size. I got the 2 fat hairies. right? And you'll know from my other pictures, I sent some last week, you can see me heavy with crazy trucks. There ain't none of this, all receipts for everything, all right? All receipts for everything. Now, so I got the 2 crazy fat Harrys, they had just started popping, right? Now, so we get to the spot, right? We pull up at the Empire. Now, you know, Laz, this is like 90, I don't know, 92, 91, 90, somewhere around there, 91. You know the Empire, this is murder 1. You feel me? This is murder 1. You ain't going to the Empire. Come on, God, Laz, you know, you are not going to the Empire with no Gucci link, with no fat Harrys, with no nothing, and they ain't about to get laid down. Facts. You ain't going nowhere in Brooklyn. You ain't going no. They used to rob you for sneakers back then. This ain't like today. It ain't like what people get away with. You get robbed for Pumas and Adidas and your pants, like sheepskin. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, so we get to the this is funny. We get to the Empire, right? So we pull up. I park, so it's, you know, the street, straight down the street, park on both sides. So we parked on the side by the Empire door. The nigga, him and Chris go walk up, right? We by the front door. So the nigga, you like, come on, park the car, right? So I'm like, yo, ain't no parking. So then the Chris goes like, there go a spot, and it was this little, now this is why this is key, lads. It's this little ass space in between these 2 cars by the front door. Right? So niggas look, I'm like, nigga, that ain't no parking spot. That's just a space in between 2 cars, right? So the nigga, are you like, nigga, that car's small enough, the buggy's small enough to fit in there. So I look, I'm like, you know what? I'm from New York, you know how we are. I'm like, I'm gonna make this shit fit. You know how we are. So bang. So I pull up, I got the 5-speed, right? So you know the 5-speed is crazy. You go from reverse, you go to first, you go to reverse, you go. So I'm inching and backing and inching and backing and inching. I squeeze that shit in like a shoehorn, lads. Like, you know, I squeeze that shit in when you ain't got no inch to the front or the back. You know I'm bumping the nigga car behind me and all that. You know I don't care. Like, we don't care. Like, you know how it is. Like, I don't care. This is my doom buggy. I don't care. We move in the car. Like, yo, niggas like, yo, why you pushing it? I'm like, all right, we go back up. I push the one in front of me. We go back. I push the one. Like, I'm doing the Austin Powers, you know? You know the Austin. So we squeeze that shit in there. I'm like, it's getting in there. Bang. We get that shit in there. I'm happy, right? So bang. Nah, we right by the front door. So we get out, everything bang. We get out. Now, I don't know what I got on. Maybe a velour suit, feel like, I don't know, something, but I ain't got on no Fendi suit. I used to wear all that crazy stuff. I ain't had that. And the only thing that was crazy was the herringbones. Other than that, I'm more regular. I'm fly, but I'm regular, right? But the 2 herringbones was crazy, right? So we get out. We go into the spot, right? We walk out, it's a bad crowd, mad line. So niggas pull out, niggas like, you? So we like, all right, so we go, we get the bodyguard nigga at the, you know, them niggas always knuckleheads. They always try to give you a hard time. We're like, yo, you everything. They go, they get the nigga from Warner Brothers, the cold chilling nigga, to come out because he don't want to let us in. So then they finally let us in, right? So we get in, we walk in, we inside the spot going on, right? So the nigga come up, he take us up to the promoter and all that, like, all right, you gonna go on at this time, cause we performing, right? So they like, you gonna go on at this time, and such. So we get all that set out, we get drinks, you know what I mean? They give us free drinks and all that type of stuff, all the comps and stuff. So bang, so we in there, we chilling, we get our little drink on, so now niggas is like, yo, let's go outside. So we gonna go out, we got about a half an hour to showtime. So we step outside. And when we get out the door, we standing out there, and it's a crowd of niggas by the front door. Right? It's probably like 30 niggas, right? So, and they're in like a circle, like a cipher, because I'm God by it. So you know what a cipher is, right? Still God by it, all right? You know what I mean? You know what it is to death. That's what saved my life. Nation of gods and earth. Facts. I might be Uncle YAHSHUA serving the Most High, but the nation of gods and earth saved my life. Facts. 120 lessons. All right. So they like in a cipher. It's about 30 of them. So then one of the niggas, we standing there, one of the niggas like, yo, are you? Ain't that are you? So the nigga like, yo, what up? He's like, yo, come here, are you? Right? And he said just like that. And you know we feel a nigga vibe. You know what I mean? You know you can tell in the nigga tone. you know, when you on some G shit. So I could hear this nigga voice like, yo, come here, how are you? And he said it like a fly. He sounded like one of those fly ass niggas. You know what I'm talking, part of my language. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna have to keep it real, so part of my language, Most High, I gotta keep this funky for them, but part of my language, guys. So anyway, so you know, when you hear that fly ass thing in his voice, lads, like, you know this is one of them niggas from the hood, and he's like, he a boss type nigga, but he one of them fly, slick talking ass niggas, right? So like, yo, come here, I do something like, so nigga, I feel it, right? So we walk over, so the little crowd, it's like a circle, the shit opens up, right? It opens up like part in the Red Sea. So the shit opens up. And so we like, I'm looking at everything, right? Because I'm on swivel, you know. I'm a street legend. Like I feel energy, right? So I'm looking around. Now this is what I peep, kid. So when we walk up, the shit opens like the Red Sea, right? So the nigga who called them over there, he's standing in the middle, and it's like 3 of them in the middle, and everybody else is standing around them, right? So those 3 was in the middle. So when it opened up, we walk up and we see the 3 that's in the middle. Now the main nigga who called them over, he's some like light-skinned nigga, right? He probably like 5'11", 6 foot, whatever. Fly light-skinned nigga, waves. Now this nigga had truck jewelry. He had big rope, rings, watch, the whole thing. First thing I noticed, lads, ain't not, man, it's 30 niggas, Brooklyn niggas. We in the heart of Brooklyn. 30 Brooklyn niggas, ain't not nobody got not one, they ain't got a baby chain on. They ain't got a bracelet. Ain't nobody got nothing on. I ain't even see a gold tooth in the nigga mouth. Facts. I'm looking like, now I'm the only nigga with 2 fat, heavy, hairy bones on, right? You ain't got nothing on. I peeping all that. I'm looking, now, the first thing I look, these niggas is drooling at the mouth, lads. The goons. Now, I know goons when I see goons. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about. The projects niggas who just came down, who walked to the empire from the project. You know what I mean? Niggas who walked there. You feel me? These niggas is drooling, lads. You can see the drool dripping down their chin, right? So I'm looking, I'm like, these niggas just stare me up and down, looking at me. They all on me, like they burning a hole in my in my spirit. You know how country ways say let that sizzle in your spirit? That shit was sizzling in my spirit, lads. I'm like, these niggas drooling. First thing I think, I look at my cousin Dow Lex. He the only one that's kind of goon with me. Everybody else, those my boys. They official, they'll fight, but we the ones that's kind of goons, right? So Dow, and he usually heavy, but he had nothing on because we was hustling. I just had that on. I had him tucked in my shirt when we was hustling, so I pulled him out. So he looked at me and Dow on each other. He looked at me like, oh, and I looked at him like, oh, and we look at each other because I know he ain't got a ratchet, and he know I don't got a ratchet. We caught out there, lads. So I'm like, oh, and he looked at me like, oh, and we ain't even got no ratchet in the car. Okay, so it'd be different if we had ratchet in the car. I would have sit down, go to the car. I would have sit them immediately, like so. And I don't know that IU and them got nothing. So the shit open up, lads. Alright, so it part like the Red Sea. Alright, so when it part, IU walk in. I stop at the perimeter of the parting of the Red Sea, and I'm looking at these thirsty Brooklyn project goon, bottom of the barrel, you know my goons. I got goons where I'm from in my part, the ones that'll eat you alive and spit out the bones just to look good, just to do it for the head nigga, you know. So I got nigga to do it for me all day, every day. They would have past tense life, guys, and past tense. All right, now, so I'm looking at them, right? So then whatever, I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on, but this could end really ugly, right? That's what I first think, this could be bad, right? So now I'm looking around like, how am I gonna get out of here, right? So then, this is the funny part, lads, listen to this. So then, I'm doing all this in the moment. You know when you're in the moment, so I look around, I'm looking for an escape route, and I'm looking like, and I look at my car, lads. My car, lads, is sandwiched in it's that shit is squeezed. You need a shoe on. Oh shit. Yo, lads. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, I'm screwed. dude, we can't even leave, lads. I'm like, yo, we done for. Like, we can't even get out of there, kid. So I'm like, and so I look up the street, and if you know the street, it's a long street that way. It's one straight street that way. You ain't. I'm like, oh my goodness. All right, cool. So now, you walks into the circle. So the nigga who called him, now I know his name, lads, because this is funny, lads, listen to this. So this nigga say, yo, IU, what's up with that shit with you and Tretch? So IU look, and it throws him off, because we don't know why. First, we thinking he calling us over there because everybody love us, they giving us props. But the whole energy changed when that nigga said, IU, what's that shit with you? No, he said, you and my man Tretch. And I'm like, and when he said that, I looked at the goons and they looked at me like, dinner time. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, it is going down. So IU, in true IU fashion, he like, nigga, fuck that nigga Tretch. That's IU last. That's him. He's stupid. Just my nigga. That's him. You know what I'm talking about. That's my nigga. IU like, man, fuck that nigga Tretch. Fuck that shit. That shit is over. That shit is dead. So this nigga, why he say that last? This nigga, this light-skinned fly nigga with these big wells on his neck, this nigga says, Ike Pone, never leave the house alone, grab a nigga with the chrome. So this nigga had a rap song, last. This nigga, you know when a nigga got theme music to that, like that movie, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, when they got the theme music when niggas is walking? This nigga had a theme song, last. This nigga said, I'm Ike Pone and never left the street alone and freak a nigga to the bosom. And I said, is this nigga got a theme song? And I know we screwed, lads, because this nigga got a theme song in the hood, lads. I'm like, oh, a nigga with a theme song is so official that he been putting in so much work that this nigga got music. This nigga said this shit, and he said, nigga, fuck, that's my man, nigga. He was like, nigga, it ain't never dead. He's like, yo, nigga, and then the nigga started to regulate, lads. So when the nigga said it, they closed the Red Sea, lads.
What you mean? He stole off on IU?
No, okay. So when the nigga said the Ike Pone, the nigga said his theme song, right? So when he said that, he said, nigga, it ain't never dead. He said, like, the thief ain't never dead. That's my nigga, such and such. All the niggas who parted to let us in the circle, they closed the circle. The shit closed around us. We in the middle of the Red Sea now. Because I stepped in, we stepped in when I seen it. And I look around and these Brooklyn niggas, man, these little niggas was so happy, lads. If they had knife and fork, you know how you rub the knife and fork together, that type of shit. These niggas was like dead on time. I was like, oh my God. Yo, only thing I did, I looked at Dow X, right? And I said, back to back. We just survivors. So now of course I got nowhere. I got a box cutter. I got an ox, right? You know, the metal ones that you slide out. The little old school, you know what I'm talking about. So I got one, and Dow, we never go nowhere. Never leave home without. You feel me? If I'm in the club, I got one. I'm gonna rip you. I'm getting out the door in the club. Facts. So I immediately slide mine. I look at Dow. He slide his. They don't see us. We get back to back. Cause that's the only thing we got is to survive, right? Back to back. We get back to back. My other two niggas who with me, that's Unique and Ryan, they just scared. I can see it on their face. They scared, right? So me and Dow back to back. IU and Crisco is in the middle. So the Ike Pone niggas say his thing. They close the circle around us, right? So after he said the circle closed, and IU like, yo, you tripping? And he was like, nigga, he said something kind of like, nigga, you be another rhyme, like, nigga, something to the sky, something, nigga, you about to die. Like, this nigga rhyme and everything he say, last. So, this is true story. So, the nigga say that, and then the nigga Crisco, now listen clearly, the nigga that's with IU, is a nigga from my hood, but he's not a tough nigga. No disrespect to you, Crisco Pop. You alright, you cool, but you know, everybody know Crisco ain't no fighter, he ain't no killer, he none of that. But you know, niggas respect Crisco, he a cool nigga. You know what I mean? Crisco cool. I'm sorry, Crisco, just gotta keep it 100. So Crisco pulls out the revolver, Laz. This nigga pulls out the revolver and says, ain't nobody doing nothing to my man. And when I look, all I see is like a pea shooter. You feel me? That's what I see. I said, this nigga pull out a Popeye gun. This shit looked like pea shooter. I said, oh, I knew immediately that was the wrong thing to do. Listen closely, Laz. When this nigga, yo, laugh. When this nigga pulled out the pea shooter, oh my, I swear to y'all, as Yah is my witness, the Most High is my witness, everybody had 10 guns apiece. I mean, guns came like just guns and guns and guns. And it was so many guns, Laz. It was so many guns. All I could do was laugh. Like, you know, you're dead. It's over. Life was good. It was good being here, but it's over. Guns. I mean, even the dirty niggas had guns, Laz. You know, the dirty, them niggas. Guns came from Ike C pulled out 2 guns. Niggas, everybody pulled out. That shit just looked like, you know, in the old Western movies where a nigga pull out the gun and everybody, all 9,000 guns pointing at you. So the nigga Crisco, he's standing there, and I'm looking at this nigga like, and he just takes the gun and puts it back in his pocket. So, I swear to you guys, the nigga takes the gun and puts it back in his pocket, right? So now these niggas is so happy. The goon niggas that's gonna rip me to shreds. Lies, all eyes is on me. They don't give a shit about IU, not the ITC probably want to beat up IU or shoot him or whatever, but everybody else want these chains. These niggas is about to fight over my dead body like a flesh. They about to fight over my body over these chains. Nigga, they want these bones, right? These other bones. So, the nigga Crisco put the gun back, right? So when he put the gun back, it's like everything stood still. And all of a sudden, someone say, Jake! They say, Jake, and everybody look, and the blue and white, old, you know, this is the 80s, I mean, the early 90s, 1990s, so they had the old looking cars. This nigga, I guess they was already coming up the street, and so when they said Jake, them niggas was right next to us, like, because we was by the front door. So when they said Jake, everybody looked, and the police, they were right there, the car was right there, and so everybody froze, right? And so when they froze, the Jake, they stopped and they rolled down the window. And when they rolled down the window, all you hear, I swear, this is so funny, I'll never forget this, all you hear is, everybody threw their guns under the cars. Like, so the line of cars that's in front, all you hear is everybody going, they just tossing the guns. You just hear 9,000 guns hitting the cement, sliding under the cars. So it's just like, all these guns is just going under the cars, right? So then the police is sitting there, so they're like, what's going on? So the IPC nigga said, nothing, officer, we just standing in front of the ring, we just kicking in, we just chopping it up, we just gonna go inside. So the officer said, you sure? I'm looking at this nigga, right? I'm thinking, I'm like, I've got one chance at saving my life. Facts. And I ain't no punk, I ain't no snitch, but I'm a smart ass survivor. That's why I'm only here telling this story. I look, I'm like, okay, I got one shot. Because you can tell these niggas is about to roll the window up, Laz, and pull off, right? I was like, oh, hell no. I said, yo. And then he looked at me. I said, officer. And he looked at me, Laz, and the nigga started to pull off. I said, oh, hell no, you ain't. The nigga tried to pull off. I said, oh, hell no, you ain't. And I tried to take a step to him, and the little Brooklyn dirty goon ones tried to they tried to block me, and I elbowed the nigga, get the fuck, like, y'all got this twisted. I'm official, you feel me? Y'all just got the drop on me. And you're lucky I ain't got a ratchet. I would have blasted my way out of the circle. So I'm like, banged this nigga in the chest. Boom! And I squeezed through, and Dow went right behind me. Dow me right back to back me. We squeezed through, and the cop tried to pull off. I was like, no, you ain't going nowhere. Yo, stop. So I ran to the car. I said, stop. I said, no. And he was like, what's going on? I said, Dow, stay with him. So I said, Dow, stay with him, right? Because guys, I'm smart. Dow, you stay with him, feed him some bullshit. See, I don't know snitches, none of that, but I'm about to get myself out. Dow, stay with him. I know Dow know what that means. Feed him while I go try to sandwich my car out of the shoehorn, lies. I'm smart. I'm like, stay with him. So Dow, so I don't know what he said to him. I turned around and ran to my car. Now this is funny, lies. I get in my car. Now the shit, I got a 5-speed, right? And the shit is sandwiched. You should see me. If you think you ever seen Austin Powers, this was facts, Austin Powers. I hit that shit to the front, boom, hit the car, pushed it up, went to the back, boom, pushed it back, boom, pushed it up, boom. I did it, my front bumper, my back bumper. I ain't give a shit. I'll buy 10 of those cars. I squeezed it. And so the funny thing, as I'm trying to Austin power it out, the goon ones who wanted to take my chain, them niggas trying to surround the car like, don't move. I like, shut the hell up. I'm talking shit to them. I'm like, nigga, if you in the way, when I squeeze this out, I'm gonna run your ass over. And they was like, oh, let that cop go, nigga, you dead. I said, nigga, I'm getting out of here, nigga. I don't get, like, it was standoff, nigga. They was like, let that cop go, you dead. I'm like, nigga, I'm getting out of here, nigga. So I'm squeezing that shit back and forth, and I squeezed that bitch out. I damaged the other cars and I got it out. So when I got it out, I blew the horn. I was like, let's go. I'm talking to Unique and Raheem. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, yo, Dow, let's go. That's Dow Lex. So them niggas came, run to the car. They run to the car. I get in that shit. And I pull off. So when we get in, we start to pull off. We see the cops got out. I don't know whatever Dow said. He said he just told them a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, and he said I seen them get out. So when they got out, that's why I see IU and Crisco start walk up because their car was right by the door and they was parked in the regular spot. I saw them walk and they got in their car. So when I pulled up to him, I looked at him. And he's like, he looked at me and got in the car. I was like, yo, we out. I see y'all niggas in the stead. And we took off. And then they took off. And I ain't seen a nigga till days later. And we kicked it and talked about it. But anyway, now, that is a factual, true story about the IU, Tupac, Tretch, Latifah, beef. Oh, that's another thing. That's where the Tupac is. Because the Ike Pone nigga said Tupac was his man. That's where the Tupac coming at. Because he was really pissed. The nigga was pissed like he was Tretch. And I'm like, nigga, you from Brooklyn. Tretch is from Jersey. Like, what the... Like what the where's the connection? So the nigga was like, Tupac is my brother, that's my man, such and such says, this nigga, you got beef with him, you got beef with me, I'm Mikey Pone from the sands to the sea, like this nigga was rhyming everything he gotta say, lads. I'm like, this nigga is but he was official. You know what official is, you know what I'm talking. A nigga is not out there. I see that type. You know when you go to a place, the only nigga with wells on, you already know. The only nigga you like, okay, this nigga is whoever he is, he official. You know what I mean? He was the only nigga with anything on. And my dumb ass out there with two heavy but that's when they first dropped. When nobody really had them. You know what I mean? Because I was the big Gucci Link king, one of them at that time. So when the Harrys dropped, I was like, oh, those are, because they look classy. You know, you could throw them on with a good jean and a good shirt or a good, you know, that's a classy joint. So I got two monsters on my neck. But, yeah, lads, that's an official one. So that's adding on, because I know in the hip hop circle, that story it's official, long story, but no one knew this. This is a story never told. No one. And I know IU, when he see this, he gonna die laughing, because it's funny as all outdoors. So fact.
I got a story with Supreme Team when I was little, when Supreme came up to me and his goons was ready to clap me, but Preem was like, you know what I mean? I understand people want the stories of the stars of the people. They want exclusive stories of the stars that no one's ever told, first-hand accounts. And that's all I got all day for a lot of them. I was going to tell that story, but I'll save that for the Wu-Tang story. Let me tell, which one was I going to? Oh, the Jay-Z. I'm going to give y'all a Jay-Z Tupac one. Yeah. This is a little story on 25 to Life with Uncle YAHSHUA. Like and subscribe
So I'm
for
like,
more
Dow,
incredible stories.
do not reach for that. But Dow itchy, he mad because he like, this nigga got the drop over and Dow don't want to lose his chain. I know he just got the chain. Like, he just bought the big official Dumbo joint with the Nefertiti. So I know this nigga like, I'm not trying to lose this chain, right? But I'm like, nigga, you gonna lose your life. Let me do this the right way. Shout out Jim Pop. Shout out Comment Gang. Let's get in. Uncle YAHSHUA back again for number 2. Y'all knew I was coming back. All right, so we going to get this popping right now. So this is a legendary one here. I'm giving Lab all the celeb joints, but I also got some jail stuff coming for you too, last. Yeah, so this time, this is the time that the Juice movie was being shot. Now, so I'm from Strong Island, so I'm from the home of Public Enemy. So Hank Shockley. So as another story gonna come last about my crew, the Nasty Four, you know about it because I told you another story about it. But so we had a deal with Hank Shockley, right, at this time. So Hank Shockley, because we was legendaries, all right? I got a clip. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send it to you last. So we're gonna get these receipts going. I'm gonna send you a clip of Granddaddy IU on what's his name? Ed Lover from Who's the Man? Y'all know Dr. Dre and Ed Lover. That he interviewing IU, and IU talks about my crew, Nasty Four. So I'm gonna let it come from the horse's mouth. So we don't need no, you know what I mean? This is all receipts for everything. Dang. So I'm gonna send you the clip. You put it in if you want. If not, it don't matter. Let's go. So this is the story. So Hank is trying to sign the legendary Nasty Four. Now, Hank is the bomb squad that's Public Enemy. He did Slick Rick. He did Mary J. Blige's second album. This is when Hank is at his pinnacle. Hank Shockley. Google him, y'all. Young guys, Google him. So Hank Shockley at his pinnacle, last. Now, Hank Shockley is so big that the Juice movie, Tupac movie Juice, y'all know that legendary movie where, last said he got a story coming about it too, where legendary, a lot of crap was going down in the hood over Juice. Now, so Hank was so big that Hank is the one that did the soundtrack to the movie Juice. So anybody go look at the movie, Hank Shockley did the soundtrack. Now, Hank Shockley is also the one that put Leaders of the New School on. That's Busta Rhymes, right? He also put, they came through, Mobb Deep came through there too. There's a legendary 510 Studios in Strong Island, whatever. We'll tell that story another time. Now, so Hank, he put Leaders of the New School on. So Hank, the Juice movie, it came out. In the Juice movie, Hank had another group called Son of Berserk. So you look at the Juice poster, look in the Juice movie, you'll see a poster that says Son of Berserk. They on there too. They from Freeport. Freeport stand up. Freeport in the building. That's T.A. Peppin and what's good, y'all. So Son of Berserk, that's signed to Hank because Hank had Soul MCA. SOULMCA. And that's when he had Chuck Chill Out. He had a whole bunch of Hank was popping at this time. So Hank is doing the soundtrack to the movie Juice. Now, so he got it's a Juice movie release party. The release party for the Juice is at the legendary building. The building, guys, everybody, this is hip-hop history. The building at this time was the most legendary hip-hop spot. This before the Tuttle, before the Palladium, before all that. The building, it was like on 11th Avenue. It was this big gutted-out building, and it was monster in there. The building, everything official. I got another Wu-Tang story coming pretty soon about me and Wu-Tang at the building. It was crazy. So, now, so I'm gonna give him a little update last because you got to understand when I get a contest, you got to know why there was a little beef between the Nasty Four and Leaders of the New School. Just before Busta Rhymes went solo, they was Leaders. Now the Leaders was big. This when the Leaders first, Busta Rhymes, before he went separate solo, the Leaders was big. They were at their pinnacle. So Hank got the Leaders to do the Juice release party, to perform at the Juice release party at the building. Now this is the biggest party in hip-hop right now. New York City, hip-hop, period. This is the Juice movie, guys. This is Tupac's big movie debut. Anybody that know what the Juice was, it's official. Google it for the youngsters out there. Now, it's the biggest thing in hip-hop. So it's the biggest party going down. Everybody who is somebody in New York City, from the streets, from entertainment, all that is at the building. If you ain't official, you ain't there. All right, now, so Hank is doing the thing. So Leaders of the New School, lads, they performing now. So I got to go back a little bit. So the leaders had a little beef with us. And first of all, shout out to Taheem. That's Buster. Shout out to Taheem. What's up, Ty? This is the guy, Rashawn. You know what it is. That's my G. We always kept it official. We got into a little beef, but that's what it was. It was New York City. It was rap. It was a rap thing. So we was the legends. Now, back in the days, I got a legendary story with Taheem. I released that on my channel. Where Busta Rhymes came up to me and IU. We was doing a radio interview. This when IU was on top of the charts. He came up, and that's when I first met him. And he told me that he grew up off our music, and they used to ride bikes and come to our shows and all that stuff. Nasty for. They come from us, whatever. You don't act like you know, whatever. He who know, they know. All right, so now the leaders blew up, right? Now this is what happened. Busta Rhymes, Taheem, I know he will laugh if he hear this. Taheem did a Varnell Hill on me last. You know what Varnell Hill is from Martin?
Yeah.
So,
what you talking about? If you ever in Hollywood, look me up.
If you ever in Hollywood, lads, come check me out, right? So we didn't know he went in a Varnell Hill. So the nigga saw my man Saquon, right? He saw my little man Saquon from the Heights, right? Shout out to the Heights. I'm from the Hills, the Heights. Everybody from the Heights, Strong Island stand up. Hempstead stand up. Oh, that's where you from the Heights. So he saw Saquon, right? Taheem, Busta Rhymes saw Saquon. So he sees Saquon, and we usually be holding officials. So he shouted out Saquon. So Saquon went up to him like, yo, where Ryan at? Talking about me. Right, I was the guy right showing. He's like, yo, yeah, he out on the island and everything. He's like, yo, tell Rod to holler at me. Tell him to holler at me. That's my people. So he gave Saquon the phone number, right, lads? So the nigga Saquon gets back to the island. He hit me up. Yo, Rod, that nigga Busta Rhymes wanna holler at you, son. That nigga ready to put you on, son. He ready. So I was already in the studio at this time, right? So and my man IU had laced me with some tracks. I got some unreleased fire that me and IU, some joints that we got together, right? So I was at the studio that IU set me out on Suffolk County, out east on Long Island. Shout out to Suffolk County, stand up, right? So I'm in the studio. So Saquon hits me in the studio, last, so I get hyped, last. I'm thinking, it's on. And I'm in the studio making heat rocks. I got A+ on it. I got IU on it. I got Money Harm, GMB, the ones that did Maria for Carlos Santana, that classic million trillion record seller. So I got all of them on my album. We got the heat rock. So then I get the number. So I'm in the studio. I'm like, yes, I'm about to call this nigga, right? So I call the number, right? So we're in the studio. So the engineers, mine and my goons in there, everybody get quiet. We stop the music, and the engineer, the white dude engineer, and he all listening. This is a big moment for us, lads, right? Because Taheem Busta Rhymes is really big at this time. So I call the nigga. So the nigga answered the phone. So he's like, who this? So I'm like, yo, what's good, Ty? This the guy Rashawn. And he got quiet, right? So I'm like, yo, what's good, Ty? He's like, yo, what up? You know how nigga energy is so down. You like, it is not invited. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold up, this shit ain't invited, lads. So I'm like, okay, and lads, I'm on speaker, so it looks really bad, lads, Cause I done told niggas like, we about to make this call, you know what I mean, to Busta Rhymes, you know what I'm saying? And so the nigga little energy is mad low, right? So I'm like, yo, what's good, Ty? You're like, oh, I'm like, Rashawn from Hempstead, Nasty 4. You're like, oh, yeah, what up, God? I'm like, what's good, man? None. You just in the studio? I'm like, yeah, I'm in the studio too, my G. You know what I mean? I'm making this heat rock. He said, yo, I know you seen Say, so you gave him the number. So what's good? I'm just hollering. Ain't none. Yo, I'm like busy right now, my G. Whoa. I'm like, whoa. You can hear everybody in the studio like, whoa. I'm like, is son curving me? I'm like, whoa, did he do a Varnell Hill? The Sandman or whatever they did the Varnell. I said, oh my, and I'm like, yo, my G, so why you say the number then? I'm just saying, I just gave him the number, man. I'm like, wow, my G, like, it's like that? So I'm like, you know what, man? I don't do all that. So I hung up the phone, bang. You know what I mean? I don't do that. I'm from the street. You feel me? No disrespect to Ty. You know what it is. That's my people. So I'm like, so now the nigga, my goons in the studio like, yo, F that nigga. We gonna make a diss song right now. So So we end up making a diss song. Now, I had to give y'all the backstory so y'all can understand why it's a little tension that's about to go on at the juice party, right? So we make the diss song, right? We got the leaders diss. I ain't gonna, not for the leaders. Who like to follow us out? They try to climb on stage. They try to act buck wild, but nobody does it better, no better. Yo, we killing it, all right? Nasty 4, that's coming soon, right? So we make the crazy leaders diss song, and then we go up to Electra, and we get Clark Kent. I'll tell our story a whole nother time, backstory to that. So it's this whole big thing with the industry and the beef, and that's when Clark Kent sent us to Brooklyn to press it up ourselves, because Dante Ross and them and Electra, who it was a whole big thing. They was like, this could mess up the leaders, momentum, and they just blowing up. So anyway, bang. So Hank Shockley, he knows about it. So Hank is my people, right? So Hank know me. So Hank come and find me, and he's like, yo, I hear that joint about y'all, going around about y'all and the leaders. He was like, I can't get with it, but what I'm gonna do, I got my movie premiere for the Juice movie soundtrack at the building, right? Now, Hank saw me at the car wash in Roosevelt. Shout out to Roosevelt, my goons for Roosevelt. Roosevelt Strong Island stand-up. So he see me at the car wash, right? Now, I always got the Benzes and all. I don't know which one I got. I got all type of crap, right? So I got something, and Hank pull up on something crazy, right? So I'm always official. So anyway, he see me at the car wash, so that's when he like, yo, why? So whatever. He's like, yo, I got the joint at the building. He's like, I'm gonna set y'all up. Y'all gonna perform. He's like, the leaders is performing too. So I'm like, whoa. He's like, so if y'all go there and y'all kill it, he said, I can guarantee I can get y'all a deal with somebody else, but I can't do it because, I mess with, the leaders and all them. So I was like, it's all good. He just plugging me last, right? So bang. So the night of the building, we get all ready. Now, just a little backstory, guys. We used to be the baddest in the world, right? We would probably slay the leaders before, all right? Whatever. Everybody who know what it is. But at this time, lads, we not really rap. I wasn't definitely rapping. I was hustling. So I wasn't really at my best. I wasn't really at my apex at this time. So now, and the leaders is doing their thing. They're like the biggest rap group now in the rap game at this point. Right? So we do a little BS practice or whatever in the projects, whatever. We get our little routine together, we gonna do. Bang. So now, the night of the big Juice premiere party release at the building, New York City, everything is lights, camera, action. We get to the building. Now, I got on the crazy red Fendi suit, the one that's on the cover of my book, the crazy big whales, we heavy. I'm talking about heavy, and this will make sense after this, because it's another after party. This is where they're all going to tie in. While we heavy, Dow Lex is with me. He heavy. That was the one who was in the first story with IU, the one that me and him got back to back. Dow Lex, he always with me. So Dow Lex is with me. He heavy. He got the big crazy truck joint with the big Nefertiti head on it, the big dumb Nefertiti head with the red jewel in the eye of the Nefertiti. I got on the big crazy, so I think I got the Gucci link. We heavy. So we get to the building, bang. They already got us on the VIP because Hank hooked it up. So we get in. Now the building is crazy. So it's like so DJ Kid Capri is DJing last, and this is when he had the rubber bands on his turntables. Capri is the first person I ever see have that, where the turntables are suspended off the air and they sitting on rubber bands, like they bounce. Crazy. I never seen it before then. So the building, the DJ, because it's like a hollowed out warehouse. So they have like a catwalk. In jail when you got the catwalk, it's like a catwalk that goes across. It's up in the air, right? Like you walk up these big steps to go up, and there's a catwalk to go from one end to the other. That's where the DJ was. So it was like a catwalk, like a strip, and the DJ was up there. So they had bodyguards, so you had to be somebody to get past them to walk up the steps. So we was able to because of Hank. So we went up there, with Capri and whatever. So we up there, whatever. So now we get all set up. Capri, they tell us when we gonna go on. We going on after the leaders. No, I don't know. I don't remember if it's before the leaders or after the leaders. It might come to me, but it's relevant. So we get there. So everything is set up. Now we looking crazy fly and all that, right? So then all of a sudden the leaders come in, right? Now they come in and the crowd goes crazy. Now they was heavy. They had a bunch of the Uniondale dudes with them, right? Uniondale stand up. So they come in, they heavy. So Hank already set us up. So we walking around. Now this was the first time I didn't feel like I'm a street star, but now it's the industry stuff. It's starting to switch. The industry starting to switch from the streets to the industry. Because before, back in the days, the street stars was the stars. In industry, it was really nothing to have a record deal and all that. It still ain't mean nothing. But at this time, it's starting to blow up. So the from the magazines and the videos, all the girls is looking at the street star. So when leaders in them came in, Busta Rhymes and Charlie Brown, his light skin, all the chicks was all over them, lads. It was like all the chicks in the whole building just ran to them. I was like, damn, this is a whole different level. I felt mad insignificant, guys. This is the first time, lads. I felt small, lads. I didn't like that shit either. I was like, like nobody know us. Like, what the hell? Like, they was all over them. And I was like, damn, this is a shift changing. Because I felt mad insignificant. So them niggas, and they knew it. So now, listen to this, guys, worldwide. So Taheem and Busta Rhymes and them, they knew that our leader, this song tape was out there. So they knew the beat. So when they saw us, you know what I mean, they ain't gonna set it because we both official, you know what I mean? So them niggas with them ain't no punks or nothing. They know me, they know we ain't no punks. So, but you could tell them niggas was looking like, yeah, this is real celebrity. They got bad chicks from everywhere around them, and we sitting there, I'm looking at them like, this niggas looking like, yeah.
This was before they ever put out a record?
No, this is when they had, this is right before Taheem put out Yeah, before he went solo. So this is after Scenario, my G. Scenario, they biggest, what's the scenario? As I combined with a beat. This is when they was at the pinnacle, right before Taheem went solo. So they was the biggest thing in hip hop when Scenario was out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Right. So yeah, this is the leaders at the top, King. So all the chicks was like, I mean, it was like, like Tupac or whatever, whoever's the biggest nowadays, you know it. I'm old school, so I say old school names. But so last, they was so fly, so I felt mad insignificant. Gee, I'm not used to that, right? So we there, so them niggas, they knew it too, lads. You know how you know they know it? Because they look, and I remember Charlie Brown, he had light skin, he's a pretty haired nigga, and then he had Charlie Brown had fell up. I heard he coming back. Shout out to Charlie Brown, man. He had really fell off, lads. I don't know if someone slipped him a Mickey or something. Anybody from Long Island know what I'm talking about. He had became one of them dudes that walk around with the fur coat, like scratching themselves in the hot, in the heat, like no shoes, home, like he had really, they said, yeah, the Charlie Brown leaders of the new school. It's for a while. Now I heard somebody said they came out of it. And you know what I mean? He came out of it a little bit, and and him and the other dude from Leaders try to do music. But yeah, Charlie Brown, it was bad, my G. Niggas was telling me, and then I seen him one time. I felt so bad, my G. He walking around talking to himself and all that. You know what I mean? It was really bad. Shout out C. Brown, man. You know what I mean? I'm glad you feeling better, my G. And all those who looked out for him and help him snap out of it, that's what's up. We need to look out for our people, man. That wasn't okay. Yeah, somebody slipped him something last. It was really bad, my G. So at this time, Charlie Brown, he was a pretty light-skinned dude and all that. So I remember he came over to us. He had like 5 bad light-skinned chicks. And he just looked at us and walked past. I was like, oh, they stunting on us. All right, so they went first. Yeah, they went first. So all of a sudden, it's performance time, right? So, they like, yo, leaders in the new school about to perform. So all the crowd going crazy, right? They ready to get set up. So they get up there and they perform. So you performing up on the catwalk where Capri is. It's like enough space to perform up there, right in front of the DJ equipment. You got the mics. So they get up there, right? And anybody who was there, get in the comment section. Y'all know exactly what anybody who's at the Juice premiere party at the building, get in the comment section. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So they start going live. So they doing their hits, lads. They are killing them. The crowd is going crazy. Capri stopping turning off the music. All the crowd is singing the lyrics to their songs. And then the dude Geronimo, which is their dancer, a Uniondale dude, he hanging off the catwalk bar and swinging from the, like these niggas look, they doing their thing. I gotta give them mad props. Mad props. Shout out to the leaders. Shout out Tahim. Y'all know they did their thing last. So they killed them, right? Crowd going crazy. They did all their hits. So now it's our turn. It's our turn. So they call us up there, and nobody know us last. We don't got a record deal or nothing. Now we look official. We look good, right? But nobody know us, right? So they call us up there. Now, if we would have been out our prime, because see, this is where you keep it 110%. If we would have been out our prime, I would have knew to, like, you know what, let's do no music and let's do a routine that's just going to rip them to everybody's mouth open. Don't try to do no song that they don't know. You know, you don't want to put on a beat nobody knows and try to do a song and niggas want to dance and drink and niggas. You don't know your song, nigga. You know, niggas ain't trying to hear you when they trying to party. They trying to get with chicks. They like, unless you put on their joint, that's the joint on the radio, that's the jam, then they'll rock with you. This is not the spot to be, this ain't the spot to be premiering nobody last. This is not the spot.
Niggas be, that's why I don't do none of that. Even when I was heavily trying to do this rap shit, niggas be like, yo, you want to come here perform? I said, listen, nigga, I ain't performing nothing if niggas can't sing the words to that shit. Niggas ain't gonna be staring at me. Niggas ain't gonna be staring at me on stage like I'm stupid. You feel me? I'm good.
With crickets and shit in the background. Yo, niggas, if you get the wrong crowd, they'll start booing and throwing shit. If you get the fighting. See, I ain't playing. We gonna get the fighting in there. Like, I get upset. Like, I can't be embarrassed. I don't come from that, right? So bad move, lad. So we get up there, right? Now, the only thing that gave us a little bit of leeway is how we look, because we look like stars. We look better than leaders, because, you know, we heavy. Like, we got Wells, and I got Fendi stuff. Like, we look like. So we get up there, so everybody, like, so we get the mic, and we like, yo. So we all loud and stuff, so we get their attention. So everybody, it's thousands of people, lads. The whole building is full of people, and we up top, so you can see everybody. So we get started. So when we get started, Raheem, he did good at the beginning. So Raheem said a rhyme first, and it was fly. So he got it. I see everybody like, okay. So then they threw on the track, right? So they threw on the track, and we started to do the routine, and niggas don't know the song, like. So you get all of maybe 1 minute attention span when niggas is like, we don't know this song. So we started doing the song, and I can see niggas start turning around. Niggas start going to the bar. Niggas start kicking it to chicks. I'm like, oh shit, like we losing them, man. So we go, and I'm like, yo, Capri, hit the next joint. So we hit the next joint, that pushed them farther away. A whole new joint they don't know. Now, if I would have been thinking, lads, if we had been our prime, I would have set it up where we would have used beats that's already hot. Like the remix joints, like 50 Cent used to do, use a beat that they already like. Then they'll rock out because they'll like the beat itself. See, that's the way, but we weren't thinking. We was coming from the streets, hustling. We wasn't in our rare form. So we doing new, unreleased joints nobody heard. So we doing the joint, and we lost the crowd, guys. Niggas, they ain't boo, but niggas is just turned away. It was like crickets. I'm like, oh, this is it. And then all of a sudden, I see the leaders of the new school walk right to the front and just look at us like, ah. They looked at us like, ah. This what y'all get, nigga. Go back to the island. It's like, drive back to Strong Island. And we official. We done made it. Y'all niggas ain't make it. We made it, nigga. We made it. We stars. Y'all niggas might be stars in the island. Y'all old school legends in the island, but this is the industry, nigga. I was like, oh, they killed us last. Okay, now, they killed us. I gotta give Ty props for that. I give you props, Ty. Y'all definitely slayed us in that. No doubt. All right, now, here we go. So, we finished the building, right? They finished, right? So we get off we look crazy. We look crazy last, right? So we get off. Now, the same niggas who was like giving us all type of high fives and giving us all type of, because they knew we was, you know what I'm saying, lad? They knew we was VIP, right? From Hate Chocolate and all that. Niggas was turning, you know, a nigga turn away like they don't see you coming towards. Niggas turning their backs. I'm like, oh, this. I was like, yo, let's go. I was like, yo, let's get the hell out of here, G. Chicks, any little bit of chicks that was looking at us before, chicks was like, oh, these niggas is losers. Like, these niggas is losers. They start turning away, and I'm like, this does not feel good. I have never in my life felt that way before, because I've always been, you know, a fisher, street legend, getting money. You know, I don't never feel that way. So I'm like, oh my goodness, we are mad uncomfortable. So Taheem and them walk around, all the chicks, they looking like, walk around with girls, drinks, and everybody. So I'm like, yo, let's go. So we're like, all right, we about to leave. Now, here we go. So, now, we out of there. I'm like, this ain't fun no more. This is not fun. So we leave. Now, because T.A., the DJ, Son of Berserk, that's who, y'all see him from the Juice movie. He's in the Juice movie. When they're in the record store, they got a poster behind it in the record. Watch the Juice movie. You'll see Son of Berserk, and they on the album. They got the soundtrack, right? They from Freeport stand up. Now, they got an after party for Juice because Son of Berserk is from Freeport and Roosevelt. They connected, so they big. So they got the after party for Strong Island is in Roosevelt, and Roosevelt is Goonville. Roosevelt is our next, town over from Uniondale, with Taheem and them from, and Roosevelt is my goons. All my goons at Roosevelt stand up. So Roosevelt is official grimy, right? Now, the after party's in Roosevelt. Now, at this time, a Hempstead nigga ain't supposed to be in Roosevelt. Facts. Like, you gotta be official and you better be holding, all right? Because it's going down. Like, you're not supposed to be there. Fine. So, we leave the building, we leave the city, whatever. We get open, whatever. We smoking weed. So niggas are like, where we going? We going to the after party in Roosevelt. It's on Nassau Road. It used to be a bar called, I think it was called Burgundy something. No, not Burgundy. It's called something. Y'all know the one by Central Station Clothing Store. That wasn't there, guys. But anybody from Roosevelt, get in the comment section. Y'all remember the bar that used to be right there, the legendary one, the one that everybody gets shot up and killed. Get in the comment section. My memory is kind of bad. All right. So it's at this legendary bar, hood spot. You know what I'm talking about, lads. It's like Love People in Brooklyn by the Empire. Like going to Love People for an after party. You feel me? It's just like that. Anybody official old school know what I'm talking about. Love People. That's the official days. All right. So we get to Roosevelt. Now we leave the city, all that. We leave back. We get back to Strong Island. We get to the after party. Now I got on the crazy red Fendi suit, all the wells. Dow got it. You do not wear that to Roosevelt, lads. That is the stupidest thing in the world. But we got a ratchet, okay? So we always keep a ratchet, so I ain't tripping. You feel me? So if it go down, it don't matter. Now, I have to give some backstory because it's going to make a lot of sense. Listen to this, lads. Now, I got this chick. Now, this is when I was Fendi Rashawn. I had the Fendi Audi. They used to call me Fendi, right? They thought my name was Fendi because I always wore the Fendi suits and my Audi was Fendi. And the EPMB dancer dude, he saw me at White Castle. Shout out everybody used to be at White Castle. Call me, yo, you Fendi? And I'm like, nah, that ain't my name. My name Rashawn. But everybody thought I was Fendi from the car and the clothes. Why? So anyway, at this time, my baby moms, me and her, shout out to Pam. Everybody from New York, Long Island going live. Yeah, Pam did this. Listen to this. So Pam got the crazy Fendi bags and everything because that's my wifey, so she Fendi'd out. So now, Laz, whenever I'm with her, everybody from the old school, y'all know what I'm talking about. Whenever I'm with her, she always got a 25 ratchet in her pocketbook, a little baby, so it's small enough. So I never be with her nowhere without a ratchet because I always wear jewels, always heavy trucks. So I ain't going nowhere with wifey if I ain't got no ratchet. You ain't about to catch me out there, and I ain't got no ratchet with wifey and looking all embarrassed. So wifey always got the ratchet in the pocketbook, right? So one time we come out the building, me and my goons, and this backstory makes sense. It's gonna add up. So we walking out, and some dude, some big black dude, no disrespect, I ain't saying black is nothing, but he was a big gorilla looking type dude, big dude, and he had this bad light skinned chick. I mean, this chick was so bad, and I'm like, damn, homie got a bad one. You know what I mean? And I like that. I like to see when a nigga can snatch a bad one. So when I said that, homie got a bad one, wifey looked at me like, what? And I'm like, no. I was just saying his girl is bad. And she's like, oh, you like that bitch? What? I try not to curse. You like that itch? You like? And I'm like, nah. And last, in front of my goons, she said, oh, you like that itch? And she dropped the pocketbook, Laz, and pulled the gun out on me. Wifey. She pulled the gun out, and I'm looking at her like, yo, what the? And I'm like, yo, you tripping. You like that itch? I don't know what demon possessed her, but she looking at me, and I'm like, yo, you tripping. And I went to reach, and she pulled the trigger, Laz. It said, but it was on safety. Oh, and I couldn't believe that this girl would have shot me, Laz. I'm like, you pulled the, and so when it said click, and I seen it, I immediately snatched and bang, and it grabbed her hand and hit it like hard, and the gun smashed on the ground, right? So it smashed on the ground. Then she tried to attack me, like, immediately started, kicking it, and I had to grab her and everything. So we grabbing her, and the people looking out the building, they see the gun. I'm like, my man, like, yo, Rod, they gonna call the cops. So we had to grab her and put her in the car. She kicking in the car. We pull it off. It was crazy, right? So now that's over. Now, fast forward. This is probably about a month or two later. We at the building. We got the ratchet, Laz. So we got that one. We got that one because we got that one because it's so small that we can hide it. And we can sleep in it. We could put it in our Timbs. Like, you could hide it. I love that one, the baby 2.5 with the clip. So we could hide it. So that's why we got that. So we at the joint. We inside Roosevelt. We in there. We heavy. They playing the music from the Juice soundtrack. All the women there. Everything there. So now here we go. We in there. So these goons walk in from Roosevelt. So they looking. And I'm looking. And they looking at all the wells. And I see this main one. Dark-skinned Saquon. Everybody that knows Saquon from Roosevelt with the muscles, little short, muscle-bound Saquon. A lot of y'all know him from up in Attica, Clinton. Y'all know him from the prison system. Y'all know Saquon's a legend. So I know Saquon from back in the days, and he know me. The guy know me. So he looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I can see him like shake his head, and I'm like, nah, I say, don't even try it. You know what I mean? So then I'm peeping it. So he left out, last. So he went out the thing. So I'm like, all right, whatever, because we holding. So they about to it's about to wrap up. We got like probably 2 songs left. They doing the last drink thing or whatever. They about to close up. So I'm like, yo, y'all, let's bounce. You know what I mean? Let's get out of here before it closes. So then we start to bounce. We start to walk outside. So a lot of people start leaving too, because we brought a lot of attention. So as we start to leave, a lot of the women start to leave. So everybody start to go out. So we walk out the door, and Saquon is out there. So he's standing, like, we walk out, and it's like a parking lot with the cars, and he's standing in the front. So everybody else, so we stop, and I'm looking at him. He looking at me eye to eye, and I'm like, I'm looking at him, what is he up to? Then all of a sudden, Laz, the nigga just pull out the ratchet. Everybody lay down. It was about 50 people out there. This nigga, like, everybody lay down. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, okay, I'm heavy. I got a lot of my jewels on, right? And my coat and stuff. I'm like, oh, no.
What he pulled out, though? He pulled out some big shit?
He pulled out some big shit. And he is short, dark. He pulled out like a 45, crazy 4.5 or 4.4 mag or something stupid. It was so big, and he little, so it looked even bigger. You know what I mean? That thing was crazy. And he a goon. Saquon will whoop your butt with fighting. He muscle bound, like he just a beast. He a beast. You know what I mean? So, and everybody know from Roosevelt, Saquon a legend. All right. So I'm like, so him pulling, he could pull out something small. Niggas still was, he official. So, but nah, he has something crazy, right? So that nigga pulled out the crazy thing, so everybody freeze. But the nigga looking at me, Laz, he looking at me. We still got eye contact, because I know him, Laz, back from the old hip-hop b-boying days. I know Saquon, we know each other. So I'm like, come on, Say. He looking at me eye to eye like, this how you looking at me, Laz. Why? I don't want to do it, but you violated by coming in my hood like that. I got all that from the eye contact. Real niggas know what I'm talking about. I got all that from eye contact. Nigga, Ra, I didn't want to do this, but you violated me by coming in my spot like that. And if I don't do this, last, like, I lose cred. You feel me? Niggas is like, you let this Hempstead nigga, these niggas come in here all heavy and you don't do nothing. So I'm like, oh, I really messed up, Laz, right? So I'm like, damn, because I like Say too. So now the nigga looking, right? Everybody freeze and everybody scared, right? So then my nigga Dow X, he from out east, he from Huntington, Suffolk County, stand up. So Dow is like, yo, he don't know Say, so he like, yo, wow. And now Dow got the gun, right? Dow got the 2.5. So the nigga standing there, right? So he told everybody to lay down, but everybody just stood there, froze, because everybody like it took a second for everybody to think, what the hell? So then he said, y'all late, and when he no, he didn't do it then. I was about to say something. No, he didn't do it then. He said, I said, lay the hell down. So people start to lay down. And when they start, I looked around and everybody's laying down. And so some of my other crew, they laid down, but Dow didn't and I didn't because we had a ratchet. So Dow looking at me and he's inching. I'm like, no. Like, I'm telling him, like, no, you got to do it. Like, do not reach for that ratchet at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Because Saquon is going to blast you. And that gun look real big, last. You know, we got a 25. That you know, you got to shoot a nigga in the head with that. You feel me? That nigga, he shoot you in your leg, your arm coming off. That type of shit, you got a cannon, right? So the nigga, so I'm like, Dow, do not reach for that. But Dow itching, he mad because he like, this nigga got the drop over and Dow don't want to lose his chain. I know he just got the chain. Like, he just bought the big official Dumbo joint with the Nefertiti. So I know this nigga like, I'm not trying to lose this chain, right? But I'm like, nigga, you gonna lose your life if you don't make the right decision, right? So I'm like, no, right? So he's hesitant. So he said, so now everybody's laying down, right? So he looks and he starts to walk towards me, Laz. Listen clearly. He says, Rashawn. And I'm like, oh. And he looking at me. He said, take it off, Ra. And I said, come on, Say. He said, take it off, Ra. And I'm like, yo, Say, man, yo, just get everybody else, man. They got money. He said, take it off, Ra. I ain't playing. And I was like, so I start to reach for it, right, to take it off. And I start to pull it up. And Dow already started to take off his joint because Dow could see this nigga serious and see it's personal between me and him, right? So Dow already know this nigga Fisher, he probably gonna definitely shoot me. If he talking to Ra, he know Ra, he gonna blast my head off type stuff. So Dow started taking his joint off. So I start to take my joint off and then I was like, come on. And the nigga said, that's when he clocked that bitch. He clocked that bitch, right? He said, I said, oh shit. I'm like, oh, I say, fuck. And I'm thinking like, all right, he got this one. You know, first nigga, that's what I'm thinking in my head. I finally got. And from my page, y'all gonna see all the stories. Nobody ever got me. They weren't victorious. A lot of people tried, but this was the only nigga that might be victorious, right? So I'm like, damn, somebody finally got me. So I start to take it off, right? Dow took his joint off. I start to take it off. Now, as I start to take it off, I look at Dow and he like take his joint up. So he start to lay down and then Laz, listen to this. This is funny. I look and I see the police driving. This is the funniest thing in the world, the way, and this was supposed to be the second story, Laz, you know that. Remember, I did another story. This just happened now to be the second story, and it ties into the first story I tell. Laz, this is where I got that idea. This is why in the first story, when the police tried to pull up, I said, oh, hell no, it's because it happened. Laz, so the police, the Nassau County, they got a blue and orange cop car. We got a Hempstead police, and Roosevelt got Nassau County. So I see the blue and orange car in the street, but it's kind of far. It's far enough outside the parking lot. So I looked and I said, yo, Say. And I said, they're the police. And he turned around and he looked and he was like, man, fuck them police. I said, well, I'm good. I said, you ain't gonna shoot me from the police. So I start walking casually. Listen to this, Laz. I start walking casually, right? And he's like, Rob, I'm telling you, I'll blast you. I said, nigga, you ain't gonna blast me in front of the police. Knock it off. So
how far you said the police was from y'all?
They was far enough away, guys. They were too far away. Like they were the street. Anybody know the parking lot? The parking lot is big, and then the street is big. So it was far enough away. And my stupid butt is like leisurely walking. And when I got past him, he said, "Oh, flash your ass." So I said, "You ain't gonna shoot me in front of the police, say, because I know it." So I start walking, and I'm walking, and I get to the sidewalk, and these niggas just pull off. And I'm like, "Oh shit!" And he said, "Now your ass is dead, Rob." I said, "Here." I just took it off, last. "Here, say, here." And I gave it to him. So when I gave it to him, he looked at me. I said, "Come on, say, you got it. You got the job. It's all good." He's like, and he turned around, and when he turned around, my nigga Dow stood up. But so when he had his back, so he turned to me because he turned his back on the crowd. So when he turned to me, we talking, Dow stood up. So when he turned back around, Dow had stood up. And when Dow stood up, he went to reach for the ratchet, right? He went to reach for the ratchet. And when he reached for the ratchet, this is some slick, this real stick-up kid shit, y'all. Worldwide, listen to this. The nigga Saquon is so official that he had, lies, when Dow went to reach for the ratchet, a nigga came out the crowd and put a full fold to his head. Don't even think about it. Oh, that was fly. That was the flyest shit I ever seen. The nigga had a nigga with him, but acted like he was in the crowd, lads. So that if anybody try to do anything, a nigga is there. Oh, it was official. I give Saquon all props for that. That was an official stick-up move right there. So the nigga put the thing to Dow head and was like, "Nigga, don't you even think about it." So Dow went and laid back down. So then Saquon grabbed him, and then he grabbed it. He had my chain. Then he ran. He grabbed Dow's off the ground, and then they took off to try to run down the side. And people know it's a side sidewalk, right? So they went to go towards Roosevelt, not towards Uniondale or Hempstead. So they start to run. So when they start to run, I ran to Dow, and I said, "Give me the ratchet." He gave me the ratchet, and I pulled it out, and in front of everybody, I cocked it, and I shot it. And when I shot it, nothing happened. Nothing. And I'm like, "What the?" And I shot again, nothing, lads. And I'm like, "What the f-?" Later, I find out the gun got jammed from when I smacked it out of wifey's hand and it hit the ground when she tried to shoot me. It jammed, but we never tried to use it since then. And it was about a month later. But the funny thing, guys, listen clearly. I'm glad I didn't, because I had a clear shot at Saquon's back, and I could have, and it was in front of everybody. I could have caught a 20, I could have paralyzed him or killed him, shooting him in his spine or back of the head. I could have caught a real bad bid off of that. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't have been worth it because he just took my chain. I could buy another one. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that it didn't work. It jammed. You know what I mean? And we took that L. We took that L, lads. We had to take that L. And I'll never forget that story. He the only one that ever ganked me. Shout out to Saquon. And you know what I charged it up to, lads? I was a stick-up kid before, you know what I mean? We used to stick up people. And I charged it up to, you know what? I got paid it, I got paid that. You know what I mean? That karma. You feel me? I'm like, it had to come back, Minutes Gym Pop. Yo, guys, I got some crazy coming. I got the Tyson coming. I got a bunch of joints. I got a Poppy Mason official, lies. Everybody who was at Lacey's roller rink in White Castle, y'all know what I'm talking about. I got him coming for you, lads. We on deck. So shout out Uncle YAHSHUA. What did I call it? Uncle YAHSHUA, 25 to Life Tales. Subscribe to me, Joe. I got the official joints, but I'm giving lies all the exclusives. I just dropped one today, lies, and shouting out your name and everything. It's a crazy one. Princess Black and Jam Master J one I just dropped on my channel today, lads. I shout you out. Shout out Gym Pop, all that. So salute official St. Lies. Love is love, King. I love y'all all. I'm a man of the Most High, so I try not to curse. Yo, guys, listen. We telling these stories. These stories are just our life. They cause us PTSD. They cause us trauma. They cause some of us to get life bids. A lot of people lost their life. We're not promoting gun violence. We're not promoting drugs. We're not promoting nothing. We're trying to tell these stories so the youth can understand it didn't end well. None of it ended well. You feel me? Get a job, work, get a girl, take care you. Stop hating on one another, guys. We gotta love one another. You feel me? We our own people. We be our own worst enemy. Stop that crabs in the barrel crap. You feel me? That's what's up. Love is love. Elevation Nation, stand up. Uncle YAHSHUA, I'm out. Love you, Laz. Love you, Jim Pop. We out.
Hey, yo, subscribe to the bro channel for more stories, you heard? He got him, and he got more coming to this channel, you heard? Long Island, what's poppin'? Check in on that comment gang, you feel what I'm saying? Comment gang, make sure y'all tear this up. I need 10,000 comments on this, you heard? Scream at me.